Welcome back to the Mic Check Show. Today we're joined by one of the most, I don't even know what word to choose, but I'm gonna say smoothest scores of the 90s. Former NBA standout, college hoops legend. And please welcome, y'all. Please welcome Jim Jackson, baby.
I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for having me,
I
man. Happy New
appreciate
Year
you.
too, man.
Likewise, brother. The way I like to start off my pod is by asking rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Okay.
Best defender you ever faced?
Well, Michael Jordan, Kobe. It goes in that.
In that order?
Okay. Easy. But I mean, I'm gonna tell you. So I played point guard 1 year, and the worst was Muggsy Bogues, bro. Worst was Muggsy Bogues. Being a big point guard, and then Muggsy getting up underneath you, that was the worst, bro.
A lot of people say he was the tallest person in the court.
No, but he felt like it because his presence was there. That's like going against Mookie Blaylock back in the day, okay? Because you knew he was creeping around somewhere, especially if he was a ball handler. And at that time, because they traded Derek Harper to New York, I played point. So I had a lot of those smaller guards I would have to bring it up against. And they were problems, man.
Is Alvarado the modern day Muggsy Bogues?
Yeah. Because he takes that. He's a little bit taller, of course, than Muggsy, but he takes that being an irritant, with pride, because Jose Alvarado understands that in order for him to continue to stay on the roster, he has to be disruptive. He has to do something different, and it has to come from the defensive end of the court. Offense is one thing for him. If he makes shots, that's a bonus. But where he's going to cut his teeth, continue to get contracts, and be a valuable asset to the team is being an irritant on the defensive end. He understands it.
Okay. Toughest arena to play in?
So I got a chance to play in the old arenas too, back in the day.
Yeah, you did.
Old Bulls Arena, original Boston Garden, of course. Tough meaning, like Philly is tough because the fans are, and I played in Philly. I played in the Spectrum. The best on stage is, of course, the Garden, but Philly is tough, man. Philly is tough. The fans in Philly are different.
Okay, how different? Can you break down different?
It's just their passion for sports.
And that's the key word, sports.
Their passion for their sports is diabolically crazy. When you arrest Santa Claus at the Philadelphia Eagles football game, it goes beyond passion. It's like a rabid, and that's Philly. But when you play there, like I did, and you saw that passion and what it means, you understand it. As an opponent, it's brutal. I mean, it really is. It's brutal. So I got both sides of it.
Wow, that's dope. One bucket you still remember.
But, Indiana game, my sophomore year, down to national TV to put it in overtime. It's probably one of the biggest games and victories that we had at Ohio State in the history of it, just because of the magnitude of the game.
Right. Now, this one is tough, Jim.
Okay.
Favorite teammate?
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Okay.
So, playing on 12 teams, bro, I had a lot of teammates, man. Yeah, that's because I've played with so many outstanding people. I didn't really play with an asshole. So I was blessed my 12 years, even with my short stints, to have some outstanding teammates, man. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, you go from Vlade to Chris Webber to Jay Kidd to Jamal. I could say Steve Nash, Amari Sham. I mean, Sam Cassell, Brian Grant, Damon Jones. It's like I've been blessed, bro, that the men that I played with all had something different to offer, and some I stay in touch with more than others, of course, as you filter and move away from your former life as a basketball player to what you're doing now. That's just natural. But in some, I maybe not see as much, but when we do see each other, it's just like, back at it again.
Yeah,
like Vlade Divac, when I see it, we just start laughing. So I can't answer favorite just because I played with so many outstanding men that I consider great friends.
What about this one, Jim?
Okay.
Favorite team?
Favorite team would be Sacramento. And the
Okay.
reason why is because at that period of time in my career, I was, I've been traded, I've been free agent trying to figure out, kind of lost a little bit of love for the game because of the politics of the game. And now it's more
Yeah.
like a job. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed playing, but it wasn't the full breadth of being in the NBA. Gerald Wallace, Mateen Cleaves, I said about, Keon Clark, Scott Pollard, Hedo Turkoglu. That crew brought back the joy of the game to me,
Oh, that is
of
dope.
really just loving to play. No, I wasn't a starter, but I was a six man and I played critical minutes, crucial. But the things we did on and more importantly off the court as a group, and plus we were winning. Don't get me wrong, the winning,
You
makes
had
you
a great
smile a lot
squad. That was a
more.
great
Great
squad.
squad. So, but that squad was just special because of the individual. Rick Adelman, the coach, was easy to work with. He was a player's coach. That crew right there, man, was special.
Game on the line.
It depends on what's called for because the
I
game
like
is going
that.
to dictate what you need to shoot. Now, sometimes the game dictates that if you're on the road, it's been a tough game, you would rather win it than go into overtime.
Why is that though?
I know because sometimes the grind, especially let's say you were up and that home team came back, the crowd is on the side, they got momentum. You got a chance to close them out and stop that momentum with a three. Sometimes you take that. If the flow is if the game is in balance and it's been going back and forth and you feel good, okay, let's take the two, go to overtime.
Okay.
Another part of it too is okay, we may be on a back to back and have a game the next night. So it's better for us to win this game now,
Try to close it out
try to
now.
close it out now, than to have this back to back where we got to travel and play extra minutes. So it's different context to each game and each shot and why you take one towards the other. One or the other is not right or wrong. It just depends on the context of the game and what's going on around it.
Now, do you follow the coaches, I guess, play? Let's say someone like Kobe, 3 seconds left, 98, 99, they losing by one. Is Kobe following the playbook or no? I don't think
Yeah,
so,
and
right?
unless he sees something different, I mean, most of those guys who already have in the huddle, okay, if a coach draws up something, they have the autonomy to be like, hey, hold up. Let's look at it this way, or let's have this person take the ball out, put me over here. They'll discuss that in the huddle. Like
Okay.
LeBron did it when David Blatt was the coach. LeBron was like, nah, we running this, get the ball in my hands here. I'm gonna make the shot. He made the shot.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying? Now, everybody doesn't have that autonomy to do that.
That's where I was getting at.
But you don't have to be a superstar because if the coach, let's say like a guy like Fred VanVleet, he's respected by his coaches. But if he's in the huddle and Ime Udoka draws something up and Fred is like, hold up, coach, I think he has that respect, I believe, from the coach
Okay.
to be able to influence maybe the change of the play. So you don't necessarily have to be the man, but if you have that kind of authority and respect, coaches and players will listen to you and go with it because they really understand who you are or that particular player is.
Okay, but Jim, who would you rather have if you was a coach shoot that last, shot?
It,
Durant
it,
or Fred?
well, it
Realistically
depends.
though.
It depends. It depends on two situational. How's Durant been shooting the game?
That
How's
too?
Fred been?
Okay.
So that plays into it too. You see what I'm saying? On who shoots it.
Okay.
Okay, and they got to
Makes perfect
understand it.
sense.
So do other players, and players understand that too. Now,
Okay.
always as the best player, you want the ball in your hands, but sometimes you got to let the ego go and understand that it may be best. Just like Michael Jordan in a couple situations, John Paxson, their championship,
Steve Kerr.
he gave it up. He
Yeah.
gave it up. And as a result, those two hit big shots. It wasn't Mike in those situations, but he knew and he understood time and score, what was going on the court, and who was open. Okay. Instead of forcing a bad shot, I trust my teammates on this situation
Right.
that if I give it up, we're at least going to get the shot that gives us a chance to win. And that's all you really want.
Right. Right. Right.
Okay. You can't
Makes sense. Yeah.
control whether it's in or out. What you can control as much as you can, do I get this shot? Do we get the shot that we want, not what the dictate? I mean, the defense dictates. Two different
Gotcha.
things.
Gotcha. Man, as you were speaking,
Hmm.
I need to ask you this question because I ask every guest
Okay.
the same question.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Is
You get that answer every time? Huh?
is is MJ the greatest ball player? I'm not gonna let. I'm not bringing up,
Yeah. I mean,
MJ versus
that's who I played
LeBron.
against. That's who I grew up. Statistically, I always skew back to Kareem. From high school to
Not a first.
college to NBA. No one has put together a resume like Kareem. And
Solid
what
as
he was able
Kareem.
to
Yeah.
do at Power Memorial there in high school, in college, three-time national champion, three-time NCAA Player of the Year, three-time, I guess it was MVP of the championship. They outlawed dunking in college because of Kareem. Okay,
Right. Right. Right.
gets to the league and has the most unstoppable shot, all-time leading scorer for 8,000 years until somebody that
Hmm.
had to shoot a lot of threes finally can beat it. MVPs, defensive teams. When you break down his resume
He's the guy.
over the long period of time, shorter aspect, Michael Jordan was just what he did on and off the court, and I was in that era. It's just phenomenal. But it's just when you start comparing eras, it's just hard because the game is so different. You feel me? It's like the gameplay today, LeBron's numbers are going to be crazy. Steph numbers are going to be crazy. And it's because when you look at pace of play and guys shooting more threes, guess what? The numbers are going to be better.
Right.
Scoring, assists, rebound, all of that, because you have more possession. So the numbers, and that's why it's hard to kind of sometimes go off of numbers because Kareem didn't shoot threes. He was a heck of a free throw shooter,
One
So
hell of a hook shot too.
and a hook shot. But in my era, Michael Jordan, no, I mean, and it's an argument for, of course, greatest of all time. But you look at totality of career, and I take high school, college, and pro. Kareem's like the best ever lace him up.
Kareem.
You know what I mean? Ever. Just based on that.
Now, let me ask you this.
Okay.
He said that Mike was intimidating. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, it was different, man, because the aura, you got to understand something. And you've been around people, hip hop game or whatever it may be, even in the streets. A certain person's aura precedes him or her before you even meet him. He had that. Now, that was before the advent of social media. So it's not like you're digging into the life of Michael Jordan and you know all the stuff about him and you see him on commercials, but not like you do today in social media. So this aura around him was this. But then he had the game, and the aura mystique is here. Then he had the game to match up with that. See, some people may have an aura, but don't have the goods with it, or
Yeah.
have the goods but don't have the aura. Michael
Right.
had the aura in the game, his game and accomplishments went hand in hand with it. And that's what made him different. When Mike walked in a room or something, everything changed, bro. You just felt goosebumps. I
Wow.
mean, seriously,
Yeah.
hair
That's
stand.
that's
It was
crazy.
certain people have that aura and that energy that you just can't put your finger on, but you know it when you know it. And that was Mike. But that didn't mean that when you competed against him, and this is what Mike really respected about people that competed, was the Mitch Richmond, Vernon Maxwell, it was Xavier McDaniels, it was Reggie Miller, guys that went back at him. He respected that. Okay, and at the end of the day, when you play against Mike, you got to get over the aura part and be like, okay, I got a job to do. Am I going to stop Mike? Get out of here. But can I compete enough to make it tough on him? Those 48 minutes that we're going head to head. And he'll respect you for that.
Dana said it had Even Bill Cartwright, Eric
Yeah.
Strickland,
Mm-hmm.
at the same thing. He said, man, exactly what you said, that aura. He had that aura, that vibe, that aura, that energy.
It's something that even did you, if you were, what was it? So they panned in and everybody was talking and you had Magic, you had Kareem, you had Bird, you had LeBron, you had D Wade, old, young, new, whatever. Everybody congregated. But then when Black Jesus walked in, Michael Jordan walked in, everything went like, you know what I'm saying? It was different.
Changed.
And that's
Did he
Mike.
did
And we
like did he
talk
ever trash
crazy
talk? Yeah.
all the time because we would not man. I've had some really good games against Mike.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was looking at the
But
stats. Yeah, you did.
I did have, but come on, man. But again, he respects people that guys that really play hard and go at him because he's going to go at you and he's going to test you. Okay. Again, you man, stopping Michael Jordan is like making him go. He had a tough playoff series against Seattle when they championship series of about 3 or 4 games where he didn't shoot the ball well against Seattle. That Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, Detlef Shrimp, that crew. So that's all you can really do is okay. If he's going to get 30 or 25, have him shoot 25 times, and be a little less efficient because this
Word.
was a
Yeah.
50%, field goal shooter. Okay. Make him less efficient. That's all you can really do. You're not stopping him.
How
Hmm.
did your like time at Ohio State shape the player and man you became in life?
Through college, that's when you start to grow. And I think and I'm happy for the young men and women today, well, young men who can leave early, go pursue the NBA, but it's a step that you do miss, the growth part, the maturity part of being in school. Responsibility wise, you got to get up, you got to go to class. Then you have to worry about practice. Then you got study, training table, then study table. So it's time management within that, which is something you need as you progress in life, how to manage your time. Even when you're in the pros, you got to manage your time.
Yeah.
You missed that step. You missed the step also to the maturity part of learning how to work within an educational frame, but I would say a community frame of meeting new people from different places, different cultures, different backgrounds, and how you interact and how that affects you. Okay. That maturity growth of meeting new people, open to new ideas. Um,
Basically, you'll miss that step.
you miss it.
Okay.
Because and then a lot of times too, these young men that go to school, again, you make a decision, you're gonna get paid, get to the league earlier, get to the second contract. I get it. And a lot of young men are there only really engaged in college for 6 months. You get in there, the season starts, and once the season is over with, if you made up your mind about going to the league, you're not finishing out. So March or April, however long you make it in the tournament, let's say it's April. So you don't have May and June where you finish school, they're out. So
Yeah.
it's really like a condensed 6 months period that individual is in school. And most of the time it's just really focused on basketball. So you don't really get the full college experience. And I'm not saying that's for everybody, but I do think you miss that level of maturity. That's why you see some guys that come into the league, Draymond Green, Tim Duncan, guys that were in school for 3 or 4 years, that can immediately adapt a lot better to not just the game of the NBA, but the lifestyle of the
The
NBA
lifestyle.
and what it means being a pro, because you come in a little bit more mentally and physically mature.
Do you miss the lifestyle, Chin?
I'm still in it because I travel with the Clippers, but I'm not, front and center.
As
But
a player.
it's different, man. Yeah, you know what I miss the most, man, is I miss the competition and playing. That part of it, not the training as I got older.
Yeah.
I miss the camaraderie with the guys on the plane. I see it when I'm traveling with the Clippers. I see it as far as removed as I've been retired 18 years. The far as removed I am from the game, I still see the same stuff. Card games on the plane, guys talking.
That's dope
playing
though,
around in
man.
practice. Let's go get something to eat. As soon as we get to the hotel, drop our bags and go. That ain't changed. Now, the conversation may be a little different. The nuances and how you speak,
Right.
the amount of money you playing for. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah.
But the structure part of what it is funny how over the years that hasn't changed.
Still there.
It's still there. So you, as a former athlete in particular, like as a team, it's different when you're an individual. But as a team sports athlete, you miss those times, man. Just hanging with the guys and just
Them locker room
yeah,
days.
yeah, man. Yeah, the game is the game. But I think if you take a poll of former players, male, female, on team sports, what they miss the most. And I would skew to say that it would be more the camaraderie and hanging out with my teammates.
The brotherhood, the sisterhood, right?
Yep.
Wow. So
Mm-hmm.
it was passed down basically
Yeah.
to them, to
Yeah.
Kawhi. In your
Uh-huh.
case, Kawhi, James Harden,
Mm-hmm.
but they've been in the league for quite some time. So they kind of know
But they got it from
the
vets when
ins
they
and
were
outs.
on the planes doing stuff and hanging. So they just assimilated to doing it. And then young players see it, and you go to a team and everybody's doing the same thing. Now, again, maybe different components to it, but it's still structurally the same thing.
Did you ever get pranked as a rookie?
No, you know why? Because of my holdout, longest holdout ever NBA for rookie, right? Only played 28 games. So, bro, by the time I got there, they was like, man, this season almost over with. Man. I didn't have to worry about carrying the
What about the
bags.
next year?
No, I was just second
That's
year.
it.
Even though
That's
I
it.
didn't play, I ain't going for
Okay.
that because I'm already. It ain't my fault the rookie year happened the way it did.
Yeah.
So I didn't go through that, man. I didn't go. My prank was, the Mavericks said they was gonna pay me my contract and they didn't, so I held out. That was my rookie prank.
Yeah, you were known as a complete scorer, and that is a fact. Like, man, I played with you. Well, that ain't even sound right. Pause.
Pause.
Yeah.
Uh,
Facts. I use and as I said earlier, I just want to give you your flowers, Jim. I was like, yo, I'm waiting for him. So you were known as a complete scorer. What part of your game do you feel never got enough credit?
playmaking. But let's go
Okay.
back though, Mike, because to see my game had to change when I tore my ankle up my third year. So what people see later in my career wasn't who I was early. And you look at injuries and how it impacts
What
players in
what do you mean by
particular.
that? Because you had to
I just changed my
adjust.
game. So
Okay.
because right-handed player, I jump off my left foot. So when I tore my ankle up, basically it was a third-degree sprain, which is the worst you can get. It's better if I broke my ankle than to have that because bone heals better than
Wow.
ligaments. Once the ligaments stretch, it's hard for it to kind of really regain its strength and its elasticity. So it's a lot.
Okay.
So it affected how I jumped. I really couldn't jump off my left leg anymore. A lot of times when I was going through rehab and getting back in the game, if I went for a hard layup and jumped off my left foot, a pain would just shoot in my knee. So it prevented me from doing that a lot. And I had to try to stop, jump off 2 feet.
Yeah.
And that wasn't, I could play off 2 feet, don't get me wrong, but that wasn't early in my career what my game was about. My game was getting by people, being able to finish above the rim, going off of one leg. But what helped me was being a versatile player, passing the ball, shooting the ball, posting up. Defensively, I can rebound. That allowed me to adjust my game to my new body, my new me.
Right.
So I had to
Right.
shoot it better, which means I had to improve on my range. That took some time, but that happened as you know, if I look at the progression of my career, I shot more threes, of course, after my injury, especially later in my career. I wasn't as athletic as I was early in my career, but I leaned in on knowing how to play the game, knowing different nuances of the game, and knowing how to make plays with the ball. And I think that's when people think about it early in my career, high school, college, that's what I did. I could pass with the best of them,
Yeah.
set up plays.
Absolutely.
But that's when I had the ball in my hand a lot. Later in my career, that wasn't so much the case. because I wasn't in a position to really have the ball like I did early in my career. So I think that's the part of the game that probably doesn't get as much credit as the other parts. Is I grew up loving to play like Magic Johnson. I love making plays.
Is that your personal favorite?
That's my Mike is my all-time, but Magic when I was younger, because I was a taller point guard and I played, that's who I emulated a lot more
Nice.
because I saw that value in it. Being able
Right.
to do that with for my teammates and set them up.
I'm gonna give you my all-time favorite, Penny Hardaway.
Ooh.
I love
I
Penny.
mean, come on,
Man,
man.
man, he got injured, man.
I
And and
know.
and I believe that if he was okay, see, a lot of people say, "Oh, yeah, the next Jordan, the next." No, no. I mean, no.
He wasn't the next Jordan. He was like a Magic 3.0 because
Can I
of his
say something, Jim?
athleticism.
The closest thing to Jordan was Mitch Richmond.
Well,
And,
Mike,
and I'm gonna tell you why, because Mike said it.
oh yeah, well, Mike said it from how he competed, how he got to be able to score defensively, what he said. And people, when people say that, they think game wise. Mike ain't talking about game. Mike is talking about the physicality and the mentality once you got out there on the court. Wasn't the game. The games were drastically different.
Oh
But
yeah,
the mentality is what Mike's talking about. It reminds me of myself, how he approached it. And I played against Mitch, and it was brutal every time. Like when I played, the two guard position and the center position were the two staple points of the team.
that's right.
Okay, those were the two scorers. Two guards: Clyde Drexler, Reggie Miller, Mitch Richmond, Michael Jordan, Latrell Sprewell, J.R. Ryder. You can go down the list. Okay, that two guards you had to play against, and then there were centers. Those were the majority of the two that were getting the bulk of the shots. Mitch, on a nightly basis, he wouldn't go beat you a bop, bop, bop. He got to a spot, he ripped through on the baseline, he put you in the post, mid post, catch and shoot at the free throw line. It was just,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
what I'm like Mike, what I'm gonna take away. So it's
Damn,
just the mentality, not so much the
the game.
semblance of the game.
Right.
It's their mentality. That's what Mike was talking. That's what I take from what Mike was saying.
Well, honestly, if you was to ask me, I think that Grant Hill was maybe possibly besides Kobe. Everyone knows Kobe was like the closest thing to Jordan. I think Grant, man, Grant and Penny, if they wouldn't have gotten hurt, oh my God. Because I think that changed, right? The
Oh yeah.
trajectory of their career.
Everything. Now Grant was able to sustain it a lot longer, career wise, where Penny wasn't, as in regards to really being like productive on the back
Okay.
end of those injuries. Like Grant
Okay.
still, when he was in Phoenix, he was still being able to be productive. Penny with the knee and everything, even in Miami, just wasn't the same.
Wasn't
But
there.
those two are prime examples of the what ifs of where they would have been in the hierarchy of greatest of all time on the trajectory they were heading before they got injured. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, you watch those two play, you watch the highlights, you just shaking your head, man.
Yeah,
At
Penny was a tall PG. He was what, six
six
eight, six
nine,
nine?
I
Yeah.
mean, unselfish but quick, bouncy. It was those two right there are poster childs for what if these injuries didn't have. Brandon Royal was another one. I mean, Mitch, J.R. Ryder,
J.R.
definitely. Yeah,
Come on
no,
now.
because we played similar, which is we came out of high school together, same year, but we both love to post up, love to get to the mid range, could get to the basket and finish. That was JR. Tough cover, man.
Similar game, yeah.
Very tough. And JR athletic, he was the first one. I ain't gonna say the first one, but in the dunk contest when he took it between his
20 legs.
legs,
Yeah, yeah.
but that was guys like that. I mean, Clyde was tough because Clyde was 6'7", almost 6'8", playing the two.
That's
That not
tall.
the toughest, honestly, guy like Reggie Miller.
You
And
had
the
to chase
reason
him
why, because
around.
he ran around so damn much.
You was
So you had to
chasing him
chase
around.
him all the time. He never was stationary. At least with other guys, you can get some help and you can bump and with Reggie and then later like Rip Hamilton, man, you running all day through multiple screens. You never stop. That is the toughest one to guard.
I could imagine guarding Steph. Steph
Bro,
is doing
you're
that
running 2 miles a day if
24/7.
you're guarding Steph. You're running 2 miles.
Wow. I have a few more, Jim, right?
Okay.
What made you choose Ohio State?
What's interesting is that at the time when I was in high school, which is, late 80s, Ohio State really wasn't that good of a basketball program. Even though Gary Williams, who went and coached at Maryland, won the
Yeah.
national championship at Maryland, was a head coach there. He started to recruit the McDonald's All-Americans, some of the best players in Ohio, and changed the trajectory. But coming out of high school, I was ranked pretty high, like number one, number two in the country. So Kenny Anderson was number one. And we were going to actually we think North Syracuse, North Carolina, Georgetown were our top three schools.
Yeah.
We actually took our Kenny and I Syracuse visit together, and we were going to go together. Then Kenny chose,
Yep.
and then some of my mentors, older gentlemen and people close to me, said, "Listen, you can go to any college you want, but you're from Ohio. If you help build something there, the legacy is different." Kind of know what you're talking about, but when I thought about it and I saw what Gary was doing, he was building something. It did make sense to be a part of something, building something. You go to North Carolina, Syracuse, Georgia, you're part of something. Don't get me wrong, depending on how you want to look at it. So that's what kind of drove me to stay home, which is, I would say, probably one of the best decisions I made. Was
That's
to
what I was
be
going
a
to ask you. Do you
was
think
to
it was
be
the
a
right
part
choice?
of that because it's a football school. Let's be honest, keep it 100. To be a part of those teams with those individuals who we all still stay in touch with. Unfortunately, we lost a couple of our teammates the last few years. But again, I told you about that Sacramento team, to be a part of something special. That's what it was, my time at Ohio State. And I'm so glad I made that decision to be a
That's
part. We didn't reach the ultimate goal, which is win the national championship, but the things we were able to accomplish together as a group, and to this day,
it's
still,
stamped.
but for us all still to all grow, get on group chats and get together and want to do stuff back in Columbus. It says a lot, about the individuals on
It's
that
that
team.
brotherhood, Jim.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, it really is.
that's dope, man. What would you want your legacy to be, Jim?
That I lived my life the right way. That I did basketball was a part of it, but it wasn't who I am. It helped me elevate and grow and mature, travel, take care of my family. But it also gave me a realization of what's important in life too, which is how you treat people, how you
Mm.
value people, family, friends, and even people you don't know. Are you doing things the right way? Now, we go make mistakes,
Yeah,
but can you realize the mistake you made, admit to it, and try to do better? And how do you impact the people, community around you? If you can answer that question and you've done all that, that's your legacy. That's what you leave behind. That's what your, kids can be proud of. Because the basketball is one thing, that's a part of it. But the longer lasting aspect of it is how you were able to impact people you knew, but also people you don't know.
I could
Eh,
raise my
eh,
hand.
Yeah, and that to me is, I didn't know Malcolm, but through his readings, through his videos, Malcolm X, I felt like I did. He impacted to this day, how I think and move and, want to look at my children as one of my people. Muhammad Ali, I knew him, but I didn't know him like that. But his legacy wasn't boxing. His legacy was being outspoken and not standing for being treated as a second class citizen and standing on his ground and sacrificing his money, but also his titles for what he believed. That's legacy. The World Boxing Championships of being the greatest, That's just a small part of it.
It was bigger than that.
Yeah, way bigger than that, man. And
Yeah.
I'm not no way comparing myself to Muhammad Ali or Malcolm X, but they're just giving you examples of the greatness within them that wasn't sports or politically related. It was just the person or the people or the men that they were.
Well, Jim, I think you've done an awesome job. You know, and you have impacted a lot of lives, you know, including mine. And I could vouch for so many brothers that, you know, were in the same lifestyle as me. Because if it wasn't again for you guys and going back home, you know, that's how much I bigged you up, Jim.
It means a
One of
lot,
my
man. I
favorite
mean,
players, man.
you've been through a lot in sports. It's funny how sports allows you a 2 to 3 hour, 4 hour refuge from whatever else is going on. Just like a player, you may be going through some stuff, but sometimes you utilize the sports to disconnect.
Yeah.
I can deal with that later. I can focus in here. And as a fan, as a person that loves the sport too, whatever that sport is, to be able to utilize that and use it for the time that you need it to clear your mind, refresh, rethink, strategize, whatever it may be, or sometimes just to enjoy. You didn't do nothing else but just enjoy, what's happening in front of me right now is why we play the game as well.
Keep being a great human being, a great father, a great analyst. And to finish things off, MSG has the best
Don't even try.
pretzels,
No, man, don't
kid.
even try.
Come
Don't
on,
even,
Jim.
Mike. No, man. Hey, man. Let me tell you something, bro. If you saying that, now listen. Everything is relative. Like I'm a cigar smoker, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
people
yeah.
ask me all the time, "What's the best cigar?" I say, "The best cigar is a cigar you like." So, Mike, if you think that MSG has the best pretzel, good for you.
Okay.
I don't know if it could count really because I just had it Houston at Toyota Center.
Damn.
They're in-house pretzels, and then they partner with a company called Ben's. So,
Yeah, that's
so the
cheating.
Kohl Center in Madison, where Wisconsin play, Ben's does their pretzel. So, but Houston in-house has a really good pretzel.
Okay.
The Hawks got a really good pretzel. I mean, the thing is huge, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
huge.
Okay. What about the price range?
No, the price range are pretty good. Don't get me
That's a
wrong.
that
That's like crazy, but it is what
super
it is.
inflation.
It's super inflation for a piece of bread wrapped up with some salt on it. Okay,
Sourdough.
that's what it is, bro. I ordered one in my hotel the other day. This thing came $18. I was ready to send it back, but I was already committed to the cause, so I had to go
Yeah,
ahead and
yeah,
finish it.
yeah,
So I took
yeah,
that
yeah.
L on that $20. You know what I'm saying with the service charge. But
Okay, so it's safe to say that the Hawks in
Hawks,
Houston.
he has a good one.
Okay.
OKC has a good one. Because it's all of here's his thing to me. It's all about texture. Chicago, terrible, bro. And the reason why is because they got it out the box. It was in a plastic wrapping,
Damn.
already with salt on it. They took it out and they just put it in that oven that spins it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's
Just
all
to
it
keep it
was.
warm.
That's all it was. So when I got
Damn.
it, I'm like, because it's all shiny, so you already know what it is. But the kind that is a little fluffier, that takes the time, like at Intuit Dome, shout out to Mr. Balmer and that whole organization. They make them in-house.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. No,
They
no
make
cheating.
their own in-house.
Nah, that's what's up. Well, Jim, I thank you so much. I appreciate you again, man. You one hell of a player, guys, man. I just listen. I'm still struck though.
When
Yes,
this
sir.
thing blow up, holler at your boy every now and then. You see me down the street, man. Act like you know me. When this thing blow up, so I know who you going for. Things can happen quickly.
Oh yeah.
Just don't want you to forget about your boy over here,
Nah, not appreciate you,
right?
brother.